Good morning, I'm Kathy Peterson and welcome to The Balancing Act. Today, hot off the stage of Dancing with the Stars, Jane Seymour is with us in the studio to share some tips on how to stay young and fit at any age. Plus, we'll show all you busy moms a fun and easy new way to preserve your precious photos. All that and more today on The Balancing Act.
Our guest today has been gracing the movie and television screen since the 70s and is still going strong. Now, you've probably seen her strutting her stuff on stage on Dancing with the Stars, and recently she appeared in the TV movie Dear Prudence. No doubt actress Jane Seymour's career is still in high gear. She is here with us now this morning to share some of her tips on staying young and keeping fit at any age. Hi, Jane.
Hi there.
Well, Jane, you are a baby boomer and one of more than 66 million Americans who suffer, of course, from aches and soreness and pain in their joints. What activities of yours have been affected by this discomfort?
I found that if I wanted to exercise, I wanted to do things that were healthy for me. I had to make sure that I was taking care of my body so that it could, keep up with all those, different strengthening exercises. And so I take supplements. I take Move Free Advanced. I take that specifically for mobility, and that's, of course, glucosamine and chondroitin. And it has a couple of other ingredients. That's why I use that particular brand.
So your activities haven't been hindered by your joint pain?
No, funnily enough, they weren't. And that was where I was, so excited. And that's why, I thought, well, I should tell people that this really helps, because it did help. It's, there are a lot of things you take that are instant, if it's a pain remedy or something like that. And that's not what this is about. This is something that's long-term, something that you do now for the rest of your life. Every day I'll take 2 of these. And I know that if I do that, then I'll be more comfortable when I play golf or I play tennis or I dance, or even if I'm sitting in an airplane for 11 hours and then I get up, I know I'm not going to have as much pain, or I'm not going to have, the kind of achy kind of thing, not like serious pain, but achy stuff.
Well, Jane, the show is called The Balancing Act. What do you do personally to help balance your own life between your career, your family, your lifestyle, your home, your health, and your financial matters?
Well, I have a great partner in my husband, James Keach. He's terrific, and we really, do everything together. We balance one another out, literally. I help my husband with our production company. We come up with movies and ideas, and when it comes to parenting, we have pretty good kids, but we keep a really tight rein on them, and we parent together. We do everything together, pretty much.
Well, where can we go to get more information?
If you go to www.makeyourmovewithfreedom.com, you can hear all about the supplements and all about what I do to stay fit. And if you want to know any more about my life, you can go to JaneSeymour.com, and it's all there.
Well, Jane, thank you so much for inspiring us to move with freedom and do what we love.
Thank you, Danielle.
Be sure and visit thebalancingact.com all through November and sign up for the Gift of Music giveaway. You could be one of the lucky 100 winners who will receive a Yamaha guitar or a keyboard. Take your pick and play. Current statistics from the CDC state that aside from non-melanoma skin cancer, breast cancer is the most common form of cancer in women and is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Listen to these statistics. Over 186,000 women were diagnosed with breast cancer, and 40,954 women died from breast cancer last year, Maribel.
It's just devastating. And here today to give us more information about a new test that can help detect if breast cancer has spread to the lymph nodes is Dr. Peter Blumenkranz, Medical Director of Breast Health Services from Morton Plant Meads Healthcare. Doctor, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
What should a woman who has been diagnosed with breast cancer know?
Well, the first thing that happens when they come in with a new diagnosis is they're very frightened, needless to say. And they want to know what their chances are, whether this is spread. Unfortunately, we don't have a simple blood test to tell us whether it's spread, so we rely on the pathologist telling us the tumor size and, most importantly, whether lymph nodes under the arm called axillary lymph nodes are involved. And so our ability to assess those nodes is most important. Typically, we used to take all those nodes out, but there are side effects from big surgery like that, such as permanent arm swelling, which is undesirable.
Doctor, the GeneSearch breast lymph node assay was named one of the top 10 medical breakthroughs in 2007 by Time magazine. This is just the chemicals that are used. But how does this test differ from those you've done in the past?
Traditionally, most hospital laboratories will do a frozen section on a lymph node. They take each node that's removed, and then they'll take a little slice on a slide, freeze it, and stain it. But they're looking at a very small amount of lymph node, and if they miss the disease, only to come out on the final pathology, which turns up a few days later, it could mean coming back for a second surgery to remove those nodes under the arm to check all of them. With the new assay, we get on a molecular-based test to look at fully 50% of the node and get a result back within 30 to 35 minutes.
So, doctor, talk to us about the results of this test.
Well, the nice part about the molecular assay, GeneSearch assay, is that it evaluates fully 50% of the node instead of just a slice or two. The way we cut the nodes is to actually slice the node like a loaf of bread, and every other slice is homogenized, put in the blender, so to speak, and run through this very neat new technology molecular assay. We still, though, have the alternating slices, so to speak, which are saved and processed with a standard kind of pathology. So actually, the patient gets the benefit of the molecular test in the operating room, but still get the backup in the other 50% of node, some of which is sampled on so-called permanent section, which comes out 2 or 3 days later.
How has this technology really helped these women and help your practice?
The biggest difference is we have very few patients now going back for a second operation. And the other benefit is if this assay on half the node comes back negative, we can say with a great deal of confidence to the patient your nodes are truly negative.
Which is great.
Absolutely.
Is there additional information that patients should be aware of?
I think it's always important, of course, to see what's appropriate for you from your own healthcare professional. Whether you're a candidate for sentinel node biopsy, if you have it done, is it appropriate for you to have other nodes removed at the same time? And those are individual questions. But I think in terms of the assay itself, like all medical tests, every test out there has false positives and false negatives, meaning negative would be a situation where the assay or test of whatever it is doesn't call the problem, and a false positive says it's a cancer and it's not real and you could have unnecessary surgery. The science behind this is very substantial, though, to try to minimize those issues.
Doctor, how do we find out more information? And more importantly, if a woman out there is interested, a trained doctor to perform this test?
Right. Well, the company that produces this, Veridex, has a website. And there are 2 different things you can get from that. One would be a patient information sort of Q&A or booklet answering commonly asked questions, and the other would be sites where this is clinically available. And the third thing, which I think is always important, is speak to your healthcare professional. The patient's own oncologist is the best source of information.
Good advice.
Thank you, doctor, so much.
Thanks for being with us this morning on The Balancing Act. It is important for your parents to have contact with more people than just you or your family. Many home care agencies offer companionship care. Sharing life experience and keeping company is a great way for your parent to stay connected. Having an in-home caregiver can also help battle loneliness and the feeling of burdening you as the main caregiver. Well, if you're a new mom or a mom-to-be, you are most likely heavily involved in planning and preparing for your little ones so that they're safe, secure, and healthy when they arrive and in the future. But in your preparing, you might have forgotten one responsibility that could really be the most important one of your life: purchasing adult life insurance. So here to make it all easy and help explain all of this is David Fear, Vice President of Gerber Life Insurance Company, and Becky Rundles, a new first-time mom. Congratulations, Becky.
Thank you.
And welcome to you, David.
Thank you.
David, you are in my cabinet, you're in my pantry, you're in my refrigerator, but as baby food. I didn't know that Gerber did life insurance. We all know you as the baby food company.
Well, Gerber Products, which started about 80 years ago, is in the baby food business. And about 40 years ago, they created Gerber Life Insurance Company. And basically, they created us to really focus on new parents and young moms and making sure we can provide them with life insurance products that really are affordable. So we've been in business now since about 1967.
Okay. Well, you know, and I know for you, Becky, in preparing for the arrival of your child, life insurance wasn't really something that you had thought about previously. Why hadn't you purchased adult life insurance?
Well, we did think about it, but it was as the delivery date approached, and then the baby came, and we were busy being new parents, and it was just really confusing to decide what to do. We did a lot of research online, and we also asked family and friends, And what we found is that there are a lot of choices, and this is a big decision for us. We want to make sure we make the right one.
So, Becky, what kinds of questions were going through your mind as you were trying to find the right plan for your family?
Well, we knew we needed life insurance, but we weren't sure how much we needed and what we needed it for. And both of us, my husband and I, we have a little bit of life insurance through our employers. So we weren't sure if that was enough or if we needed to supplement that. And then you have all the different types of plans and choices. So it was overwhelming.
And so when you sit here next to someone like David, who obviously has a wealth of experience in this field, David, what can you tell Becky in order to make her decision-making process just a little bit easier?
Well, buying life insurance can be very, very confusing. Yeah. And certainly there's lots of questions you need to get through and to understand. But the first question you got to ask yourself is, what do I need the life insurance for? And what you find is most times people buy life insurance because it's a reasonable way to buy something that you can afford that will provide your family with income if you should die prematurely. It's also a way to pay off debts, and it's a way to pay for a funeral.
How do you know how much life insurance you need?
Well, there are lots of ways to calculate how much life insurance you need. One way to do it is to take the amount of income that you earn each year, multiply that by 3 or 5 times, and buy that amount of life insurance. Another way to do it is to figure out how much debt you have, your mortgage, home equity loan, car loans, those things, add it all up and buy that amount of life insurance.
We want to purchase the policy that's right for us. How do we go about doing that?
Well, basically, there's 2 types of life insurance. There's term and there's permanent. Term insurance usually goes from 10 to 30 years, and at the end of that period of time, the insurance ends. Permanent insurance is typically whole life insurance, and with whole life insurance, what you're going to find is it's going to cover your whole life. Now, term insurance is going to be less expensive because it's only for a shorter period of time. Whole life will be a little bit more expensive, covering your whole life, but what you're going to find with whole life insurance is the premium's never going to increase.
How do we know, though, which company we should buy life insurance from? Because I know I get flyers in the mail all the time.
Yeah, I think what you want to focus on is a company that's rated A or better, excellent, like Gerber Life. But you also want to find a company that you're comfortable with, a company that's going to listen to your situation and come up with a recommendation that really fits your needs.
All right, good advice, Becky.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you so much, David. So where can we go for more information?
Well, you can go to gerberlife.com or you can call us. Our phone number's on our website, and we have people there who are really ready to help you and learn about your situation and make a good recommendation.
Well, thanks to you both for being here with us this morning. Congratulations once again on the new baby. Want to see one of your favorite Balancing Act segments again? It's easy. Just log on to thebalancingact.com. All right, well, I'm the type of mother that I'll take millions of pictures, keep them in the digital camera, and we'll never see them again. But the reality is digital cameras really are a great way to capture those precious moments with our family and our friends. But what happens when your camera is full and you have to start deleting your photos? Or let's say you download them to your computer, but you still need to output them to share with everybody you know. Here to tell us about an easy and fun way to preserve your photos is Valerie Moody. She is president of Photio. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Danielle.
You are a mother of 3. We have a lot in common. I'm a mother of 3, so I know we take a lot of pictures. But when we're trying to balance it all, our family, our careers, our work, our home, how did you come up with this wonderful concept of Photio?
Well, I watched my friends and family take the great pictures you've described, but then they leave them in the camera, leave them on the computer. I thought there's got to be an easier way to get these photos out of the machines and into our lives. And so we just experimented and came up with Photio.
You know, a lot of busy moms out there are trying to figure out a way to balance it all, to preserve the memories, but also preserve their sanity at the same time. How does Photio work?
Well, it's very simple. With our product, all you do is use the memory card that fits your camera, fill out a form, send that memory card and form back to Photio in the postage-paid envelope that's included in our package. We take care of all the rest. They clean up the photos, correct the red eye, color correct, and then edit a DVD with music and special effects.
And we do have some samples.
Yes, we do.
Let's take a look at that.
The first sample is actually my son's Little League team. Took some pictures during the season, made a great video. It's great for sporting events. And then we gave each of the kids a copy of the video, but it also had 93 photos on the DVD that the parents could print, email, do whatever they wanted. The second one is my 6-year-old was at a birthday party. And It's just shots from the birthday party, because a lot of times we have great birthday photos, then what do we do with them? This way the kids get to watch a movie of their birthday every single time.
You know, those look really great, and I also understand that you make DVDs for large corporations as well. Does that present a different set of challenges?
Well, it's a similar market because we're actually doing the video for the employees. So, for instance, Aflac. The Aflac employees received the Photio as a gift on an incentive trip. So it's really the same thing. It's individualized for the employees.
For a lot of us, it's very difficult, Valerie, to give up our precious memories. If we think about putting this little, chip in the mail and sending it, there's always that fear that it's going to get lost. There's always that fear that they'll never see those photos again. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, the package contains a postage-paid envelope. Because that envelope is barcoded, we've never lost any. We've never had somebody call and say, "Did you get my Photio?" We've always received the cards back, so it's very safe. The envelope is thick, so it's very protective of the memory card.
Where can we go for more information?
Well, Photio is sold on Amazon.com, but you can also go to our website, photio.net, and you can find Photios in several retail locations across the country.
All right, Valerie, thank you for being with us this morning on The Balancing Act.
Thanks, Danielle. It's a pleasure.
What does it mean to go green? It's caring and taking initiative on making this planet a greener place to live. In the U.S., less than 1% of plastic products are recycled. That's alarming considering how much plastic we use on a daily basis. The time has come for you to do something about it.
Be sure and visit thebalancingact.com all through November and sign up for the Gift of Music giveaway. You could be one of the lucky 100 winners who will receive a Yamaha guitar or a keyboard. Take your pick and play. Well, here is a statistic that I really find very alarming. Listen to this. Nearly 11 million non-institutionalized older people live by themselves. Also, home care providers are not brought in for help until it's too late. For example, they've fallen or their medications have been mismanaged, resulting in an unplanned hospital stay. Here to talk with us about the crucial role of a caregiver is Leanne Reynolds, president of Home Watch Caregivers. Leanne, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to me about what kinds of services you offer.
Well, certainly home care is really designed to kind of care for sort of the physical and emotional aspects of a client and their family. Services kind of center around companionship services where we might be doing light housekeeping, meal preparation, transportation assistance, but also some personal care services where you might be helping somebody bathe, groom, get dressed, and so forth. What's really important and what's designed to do is to really provide assistance with those physical services, but really provide that family with a peace of mind that somebody's taking care of them.
And we just talked at the top a little bit about the emotional aspect of it, and I know for a lot of viewers out there who are dealing with this, it really is hard for a child to take care of a parent because you've got things like toileting, you've got things like making sure medications are dispensed on time, you've got things like cleaning gastrointestinal tubes. That must be just so difficult for a child to do this for their parent.
Well, and that's really what we really want to do is provide some assistance in that arena. We really want sons and daughters to be the sons and daughters and restore that relationship with their parents. So we're really encouraging them to provide or buy home care services because we can provide that assistance.
What is your screening process?
Home Watch Caregivers has actually been in business for 28 years, and one of the founding principles of the company that my father started was really bringing in good caregivers. We support them, we train them, we educate them, and part of that is certainly also making sure that we do a background check process on them. Do they have good character? Do they have good care expertise? And what does that background check say about that individual?
And you don't just offer services for the elderly.
That is correct. We certainly work with people of all ages. Our goal is to be the premier provider of home care services to anybody who might need our services. So certainly we see a lot of folks who might be recovering or rehabilitating from surgeries or an unplanned hospital stay. Many of them are non-compliant when they get released from the hospital, so they get readmitted because they haven't followed their medication regime or with their physical exercises they're supposed to do. So we can really be brought in to make sure that that patient really stays in compliance.
And getting back to the elderly here for a moment, if we could, statistically we know that the majority of children, adult children, don't live near their parents. And so how do you alleviate their concerns? And really, what is the process in terms of handling those kinds of cases?
Well, certainly, they say there's about 60 68% of adult children do not live in the same community as their parents. So at Home Watch Caregivers, we really believe in what we call the client coordination process. That's making sure we stay on top of any medication changes, any changes in behavior or physical conditions of families, and we want to communicate that out to their loved ones, whether their loved ones are in that community that they live in or they are remote, which most of the time they are.
What other kinds of services do you offer clients?
We're very excited about an Alzheimer's program we have called Pathways to Memory. It's a custom designed program really to work with folks who are facing memory problems and trying to help them restore some pathways to memories they might have.
And Leanne, where can we go for more information?
HomewatchCaregivers.com.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning on The Balancing Act and really sharing this vital information that can make the lives of a lot of children caring for elderly parents a little better.
Absolutely.
Thanks
We're here to
again.
help. Thank you.
If your parent is struggling with dementia, physical activities around the house, and their vision, it's best to have a conversation about retirement from driving. Doctors are often very comfortable delivering this type of message on your behalf. Now, there will be a feeling of loss of value, self-esteem, and self-worth. Be available to drive them or hire a caregiver to give transportation options.
Tomorrow we'll add a healthy dash of taste to your traditional turkey and stuffing recipe with the help of Chef Jay. And New York Life Insurance shows us what we can do to protect our finances even in these tight times. I'm Kathy Peterson. Thanks for joining us on The Balancing Act.